I don't know what's going on. I'm only watching this show just like you. Hey fam, what's up, what's up, what's up? This is Robert Anton here, robertantonnyc.com, coming to you with your no frills American Idol commentary from a singer. So much drama tonight and so many things going on, so I've got to tell you what happened. Oh my God. All right, at the top of the show, Harry told them his pet peeve is someone telling him they're sick before they start. And let me tell you, I've heard this through high school, through college, through everything that I've been through. Do not complain. Go in there, do your thing, and let the chips fall where they may. And he laid it down on them too. No excuses. No excuses. All right, so tonight, 15 guys, 15 girls will move on to the live shows. And I thought we started out with 77 contestants. I don't know if that's right. It might have been 40-something. I don't know how that happened because we ended, I think, with 77 last time. But I don't know. Just don't take my word for it. I don't know what's going on. I'm only watching this show just like you. So the contestants already sang for the judges on solo round. So we aren't getting to go through all of their solo round. But we are getting to see it tonight in clips and everything like that. And they are going to be judged and either kept or sent packing, baby. Or moving on to the live rounds. 30 people going on. 15 guys, 15 girls. Let's get down to what happened, what drama, where the cards fell and up. Because it was a lot. It was so emotional. It was so emotional for me. Piriz started and she played her little clip. She did Stars by Adele. And she got a nice long clip of her singing and playing the keyboard. She sounded great, had a lot of emotion, nailed the big notes so well. Everything was on point. I was like, there's no way she's not going through. And of course, she moved on to the next round. And J-Lo was happy because she's a Latina. Because they were like, where are you from? And she's like, Cuba. She's like, oh, we got a Latina in the house. Oh. Okay, so we got a Latina in the house. What's up, Latina house? How's it going? I'm supposed to know how to say that in Spanish. Okay, but I'm taking Spanish and I can't remember at the moment, so let me move on. Spencer Lloyd did an original song, and he sounded pretty good and smooth on this song, but the judges weren't really crazy about the song. He played the piano for Say Something earlier, you know, for the Hollywood week, and he played the guitar for this song. So he's kind of a multi-instrumentalist. He seems to be bringing a lot to the table, and he made it through also to the next round, to the live round. Jillian Jensen came up and did an original song, and she played guitar after giving a speech. Which is all good and fine because she came up and produced, because if she wouldn't have produced, we didn't want the speech. But she did. She's kind of country with a very nice melody and good intensity, and she looked hot for the Judgment too. I wrote that, you know, I don't always notice all that stuff, but she did. She looked really hot. And she matched J-Lo. They had like on the same kind of print or something like that. So she made it, but looked like she was going to cry while Harry was stringing her along and stuff, and then she did cry when she made it. I'm so happy for her, but she was on X Factor and didn't make it, so now she's moving on American Idol. Good for you. Make sure to thumb this up if you're enjoying the commentary. It's a lot of work, and YouTube is giving me so much drama. Drama. I might talk about it in a video later. But anyway, I'm not going to do it right now. We are just going to enjoy Idol together. Here we go. Thanks for your thumbs. Madelyn Patterson was next. She did Up to the Mountain by Patty Griffin, and she sang a little bluesy on this and was kind of rough, but sounded okay. I felt like it was just a little forced. She did not make it through, and Keith didn't pull any punches. He was just like, you're not going through. Yeah. Simeon, LeBryant Crew, and Sabrina Lentini also did not make it through. Then George Lovett. He was doing I Won't Give Up by Jason Mraz, and they were running his last performance under the rest of the guys who were sent home, and it was definitely good, and his performance was excellent. And 2 of the judges stood for him. Harry didn't, but he made it through to the next round. Sam Wolff did I Tried, an original song. And let me tell y'all, they were saying a lot of people who played originals didn't impress the judges, but then Sam came up to do his song and immediately touched my heart. So personal and vulnerable. His vocal was great. It had a nice melody, and I could feel the pain, and it's just in the performance and in his words and in the way he was emoting and just everything, and the judges were feeling it also, and I could see them feeling it. He made it through to the next round. Keri and Roche did I'd Rather Go Blind by Etta James. She was making great use of her lower range when she started this out, but I was kind of waiting for her to hit them top notes, and when she did, I realized that she had to pull the song down. The key must have been way down because it wasn't very, I don't know, it just didn't pop for me, you know. She gave it all she had though, but she did not make it on. She was sent home. Malaya did I Believe by Fantasia. I was listening, I was like, oh my God, you better work it out. She started out the wrong key though. or they started out in the wrong key. I think I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt. The band started in the wrong key. And so the judges stopped her and let her start again. And she was nailed it when they finally got it in the right place. And she really has a big, pristine voice. Just J-Lo and Keith stood for her. Harry didn't. Again, he just had given her the stand-up basis. We're going to see how that works during the live shows. He also didn't say her name right when she walked into the room for her judgment, right? Because this is the Judgment Day. I forgot to tell y'all before, it's the Judgment Day. And she said, well, it's actually pronounced Malaya. And she wasn't being, you know, snarky or fancy or anything. She was just telling him, you know, and corrected him. And I was so glad she did that. It was very much on point. Listen, do what you want to me, say what you want about me, but make sure you get my name right. She made it through to the next round. Maurice Townsend did Wrecking Ball by Miley Cyrus. And this performance sounded promising, but there was a disconnect for me when he changed the melody in the chorus for me. I just wasn't feeling it. I was just kind of like, you know, the judges said he's a smart guy while he was singing, and he made it on to the next round. I've been liking all his other performances. This one I just didn't feel was great. Then they showed Randy Jackson coming in to visit the contestants and the judges on solo day, and Harry and Keith got acted up and got up and performed for him, and we got some booty shaking and some singing and some foolery and some all kind of stuff going on. Just a fun little moment to kind of break it up. And I don't think Harry made it through. Then Bria and I did It's a Man's World by James Brown, and she killed this performance with her own little style. Had the judges rooting her on, and she's also got so much personality and was funny. She was speed walking when she came into the room and stuff. She's like, because the room is so big, let me hurry up and get to the chair. She was just funny, and I really liked her, and she made it on to the next round. So then they did something that they've done with a few people. They brought two people in together, Jessica Muse and Jesse Roche. Jessica had done in solo night This Is Done, original song, and I really like her vibe and the type of singer-songwriter she is. This was a great choice to redeem herself from Group Day, and she had that perfect folk rock sound going on. Plus, she's so intense and focused, and you know, they called her a fighter, and she really is. Jesse Roche did Wide Open Spaces by the Dixie Chicks, and she kind of lost her way in the song and wasn't as focused as she could have been. Keith said it was a mess, you know, at least that's what I heard, and I was just like, yeah, I figured she was going home, right? So they said that one of them was going home and one of them was staying, and I was like, naturally, Jessica is staying. But they said that it was close, and I was like, but I think they were taken into their whole journey so far, not just that performance, because those two performances were not even close. Yeah, so they had to sing. They said, we want you guys to sing together right now on the spot a cappella. And Jessica sang, and she decided to go first, and they had her sing a cappella, and she jumped right in there. I could hear that she was a little nervous and not really warmed up, but she did pretty good. Then Jessie did Do You by KT Oslin, and she actually sounded a little better, but her voice didn't have as much character to me. She also sounded like she hadn't warmed up really, even though she was a little more solid in this performance. This was nerve-wracking, and J-Lo said they couldn't put both of them through. Jessica ended up moving on. Yay! I'm glad about that. Oh, and I wrote, did they make the right decision? Do you think they made the right decision? Let me know down in the comments. Dexter Roberts came up next, and he's a country boy, you know, and they were kind of playing his music while they were talking to him about his performance and stuff, so it was covered up and everything, but what I heard sounded good. He's so country. He made it through. Emmanuel Zador was up next. He did I'm Going Down by Mary J. Blige. Okay, he is such a character and gave us everything he had while being entertaining and serving vocals, baby. He also threw in a little whistle tone at the end. I was like, hey, boy! Everybody kind of jumped. I was like, oh! I wrote, he's such an entertainer. He also started crying as he walked out the elevator into the room for his judgment, right? And I was just like, drama! Love him, love him. Good for the show. He could sing, he give it up drama, you know, just everything, just everything. Okay, so he made it through, and I was happy about that. Congrats, Jay. Oh man. Next up was MK Nobilette. She did 18 by Ed Sheeran, and this was a very sedate performance. So she was trying to get the words across. It seemed to me, you know, I think she was trying to remember the words, but she was all into the story. I really enjoyed it. I think she messed up a bit at some point. She had a little blip, but I liked her performance. It was very tender and riveting. And then she was in the Judgment room, you know, and she came out on the show, and I was like, duh. Like, who didn't know, right? Did you not know? Okay, so she made it through to the next round. Then Kristen O'Connor did Unconditionally by Katy Perry. And she has such an easy breezy way of singing and was just a little muted on the top notes. But this is a really big song. And I wrote, that's a lot better than being too brassy and too open. And I loved it. I absolutely loved it. She made it through to the next round. Then Jordan Brisbane was up. He did Halo by Beyonce. And this boy has such a big voice for such a young little boy, and he knows how to use it too. This was a strange choice of song for him, but he did a great job on it. And I like that he pushed it, but didn't overdo it. He made it through, and it was his 16th birthday. Happy birthday, dude, or happy belated birthday. Then Casey McQuillan and Nika Nashe did not make it through. So then we had two more people go into the room together, Leah Guerrero and Adrena Brogdon. And Leah had done I'd Rather Go Blind, and she had a nice sound on this, but I think it was better done by a few other people on the show so far. And Adrena Brogdon did Burn by Ellie Goulding, and she had such an easy way doing her thing also. I liked her performance, but it just didn't pop. You know, it was just, you know, if it would have been her first performance, I don't think she would have made it through. But she made it onto Hollywood while Leah went home. I thought they were going to have them both sing against each other again, but they didn't. One went home, one didn't. Malcolm Allen was up next. He did I'm Going Down on his solo night performance, Mary J. Blige. And I love his voice and the little blues notes that he throws into his melodies. You know, Harry was saying he's a good singer, but he was wondering if he's marketable. And I'm like, what? Are you kidding? Oh my God. The boy was killing his vocal. Every single time he has moved me when he's performed. You know, he's got charisma, he's funny, he's just, I was like, are you kidding? Anyway, I wrote he kind of reminds me of Marcus Canty with more of a jazz blues influence, and he made it on to the next round. Good going, judges. Good going. Alex Preston was up next. He also brings such a great vibe to his performances, and he just pulls focus when he sings. He's so quirky. I was about to say twerky. He's so quirky and things like that, and kind of nerdish, but I really like that about him. He just, I don't know, it's just something about he's really likable. And I wrote, I'd be surprised if he went home. And of course, he didn't go home. He made it through to the next round. Then we got another two people who had to go into the room together, CJ Harris and Casey Thrasher. And CJ had done Bring It On Home to Me by Sam Cooke. And he always has such power, soul, and emotion. He played the guitar and gave a wonderful performance here. Casey Thrasher had done Amazed by Lone Star, and he's a country singer and has a nice twang on this performance. But I just didn't feel the emotion coming from him. They did it again. They did it all this. They had to sing for their spot because one is going home and one is saying. So the CJ volunteered to go first. Always, if you can, make an impression. Go first. Or at least volunteer to go first. You know, if you were the first one to throw your hand up, he volunteered to go first. And he was keeping the tempo, you know, doing his fist to his hip, you know, kind of thing and going on. Had a great vocal on this. Gave some big moments and some smaller moments. He seemed like he had been warmed up and everything like that. But I think everybody was ready to sing after Jessica and Jesse came down and they had been told that they had to sing. I think everybody probably did their little trills and whatever they had to do, you know, to make sure that just in case that they would be warm. So he was ready. Casey was also ready. And I really liked the sound of his twang, and he did this little yodel in his performance that was really nice. I was like, oh boy, some of it was just a little forced, but it sounded good to me, really good. And then they left us in a cliffhanger, so we won't find out until tomorrow night which one is going home. So tell me down in the comments, this will tell me if you watched the whole thing, tell me which one of them do you think is going home and which one of you think is staying between CJ and Casey. CJ Harris, Casey Thrasher, who's staying and who's going in your opinion? Let me know in the comments. I really appreciate it. This is Robert Anton, robertantonnyc.com. I am out. See you tomorrow night. Peace.